Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, watching the stars through the main screen. The ship moved smoothly through space near the Kepler 442 system. Everything seemed peaceful. Her crew of 800 worked quietly at their stations. This was supposed to be a simple patrol mission. Chen had been a space captain for 15 years. She knew when something felt wrong. Today felt very wrong. The communication officer turned toward her with worry in his eyes. "Captain, we're getting a message from an unknown ship. It's big and it's not showing up on our usual scans." "Put it on screen," Chen ordered. The main display changed. A massive alien ship appeared. It was 5 times bigger than the Defiant. The ship looked ancient but powerful. Strange symbols glowed along its dark hull. Chen had never seen anything like it. A voice spoke through the speakers. It sounded cold and proud. "Human vessel, you will listen. This is Harold Zexmore of the Galactic Council. Your species has been judged." Chen stepped forward. The Galactic Council ruled most of the galaxy. 12 alien species worked together to control thousands of star systems. Humans had only joined 50 years ago. They were still the new kids. "This is Captain Chen of the UES Defiant. What do you want?" "Your species grows too fast. You take too much. You ask too many questions. The Council has decided humanity must stop expanding. You will give up your newest colonies. You will accept our guidance for your military forces." Chen felt her blood turn cold. The alien was talking about surrender. Complete surrender. "And if we refuse? Then you will face the combined might of 12 species. Your worlds will burn. Your people will serve or die." The transmission ended. The alien ship vanished as quickly as it had appeared. Chen stared at the empty space where it had been. Her bridge crew looked at her with fear and anger. "Send a message to Earth Command," Chen said quietly. "Priority 1. Tell them what just happened." The next few hours passed slowly. Chen paced her ready room, thinking about the aliens' words. Humanity had worked so hard to reach the stars. They had built colonies on 30 worlds. They had made friends with some alien species and fought others. Now, the most powerful group in the galaxy wanted them to stop everything. The reply from Earth came faster than expected. Admiral Rodriguez appeared on Chen's personal screen. He looked tired and worried. "Sarah, we got your message. This is bad, very bad. What are your orders, sir?" "The President is meeting with the Council leaders. They're coming to Earth for talks. We're going to try to negotiate." Chen shook her head. "Admiral, with respect, you can't negotiate with people who think you're insects. They're not offering a deal, they're demanding surrender. I know how you feel, but we have to try. We can't fight 12 species at once. Come back to Earth. That's an order." The screen went dark. Chen sat alone in her room thinking. She had served in the Earth military since she was 18. She had always followed orders, but something felt different now. Her computer beeped. A classified message appeared. Chen read it twice to make sure she understood. The words made her stomach hurt. The message came from a spy inside the Council. The aliens weren't planning to negotiate. They were planning to surround all human space with their fleets. When humanity came to Earth for the surrender ceremony, the Council would take control of every human world at the same time. Chen realized the truth. This wasn't about stopping human expansion. The Council saw humans as a threat. Humans built things faster than other species. They fought differently. They asked questions that made other aliens uncomfortable. The Council wanted to destroy human independence before it became dangerous to their power. Chen called her senior officers to the meeting room. Commander Torres, her second-in-command, sat down across from her. Lieutenant Kim, the weapons officer, looked nervous. Chief Engineer Martinez cracked his knuckles the way he always did when he was thinking. "I've received new intelligence about the Council's plans," Chen began. She told them everything. About the spy's message. About the real plan to control humanity. About the trap waiting at Earth. "So, what do we do?" Torres asked. Chen looked at each of her officers. These people had served with her for years. They trusted her. She was about to ask them to make the hardest choice of their lives. "Earth Command ordered us to return home, but if we do that, We'll be helping the Council destroy everything we've worked for. I'm thinking about disobeying orders." The room went quiet. Disobeying orders during wartime was serious. It could mean prison or worse. Martinez spoke first. "Captain, what exactly are you thinking about doing?" "The Council uses a major shipping route through this system. If we position ourselves here and refuse to move, we force them to respond. We make them show their true intentions before they can spring their trap." Kim looked scared but determined. "That's suicide, Captain. One ship against the entire Council? Maybe. But if we do nothing, humanity dies anyway. At least this way. We die fighting." Torres leaned forward. "The crew needs to know this isn't just our choice to make." Chen nodded. She had already thought about that. "Call all hands to stations, I'll speak to everyone." An hour later, Chen's voice echoed through every part of the ship. "This is the captain. You've all heard about the Council's ultimatum by now. What you don't know is that they're not planning to negotiate. They're planning to take control of all human space while our leaders are distracted." She could hear surprised voices in the corridors. People were talking to each other, trying to understand. "I've been ordered to return to Earth. But I believe that if we do that, we'll be abandoning our duty to protect humanity. I'm going to position this ship at the edge of the Kepler system and block the Council's shipping route. I'm going to force them to show their true intentions." The ship felt different now. Everyone was listening. "This will probably be a suicide mission. The Council can send dozens of ships against us. If anyone wants to transfer to a shuttle and head home, I understand no one will think less of you." Chen waited. Minutes passed. Then her communication officer spoke. "Captain, I'm getting reports from all decks. No one is asking for transfer. Everyone wants to stay." Chen felt proud and sad at the same time. Her crew was choosing to follow her into almost certain death. Then let's show the galaxy what humans are made of. Helm, set course for the shipping. Route coordinates. Engineering, I want all systems at maximum efficiency. The Defiant changed course. It headed toward a point in space where Council ships had traveled safely for hundreds of years. Chen watched the stars move on the main screen. In a few hours, they would reach the point of no return. She thought about her family on Earth. Her parents would never understand why she had done this. But maybe someday when the history books were written, people would understand that sometimes you have to take a stand. The Defiant flew through the darkness toward its date with destiny. Behind them, Earth continued its preparations for surrender. Ahead of them, the most powerful alliance in the galaxy waited. Chen sat in her captain's chair and prepared for the fight of humanity's life. The Defiant reached the shipping route 12 hours later. Captain Chen ordered her ship to stop right in the middle of the space lane. Ancient asteroids drifted nearby, silent witnesses to what was about to happen. "Position confirmed, Captain," reported the navigator. "We're blocking the main Council trade route through this system." Chen nodded. "Open all communication channels, every frequency the Council uses." The communication officer worked quickly. "Channels open, Captain." Chen stood up from her chair. She took a deep breath. What she said next would change everything for humanity. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earthship Defiant. We reject the Council's ultimatum. Humanity bows to no one. We will not surrender our colonies. We will not accept your control. If you want to take what is ours, you'll have to fight for it." She nodded to cut the transmission. The bridge crew looked at her with respect and fear. They had just declared war on the most powerful alliance in the galaxy. "Now we wait," Chen said. They didn't wait long. Within 6 hours, space began to bend and twist around them. Council ships were arriving. Not just one or two ships, many ships. The first to appear was a massive hegemony dreadnought. It was 3 times longer than the Defiant and covered with weapons. Dark red metal gleamed under the local star's light. Chen had studied these ships in the academy. She knew they could destroy a planet. More ships followed. A Zephyrian vessel that seemed to fade in and out of reality. A crystalline collective ship that looked like it was made of living diamond. A hive-mind nexus ship that moved like a giant insect. Ship after ship appeared until 12 massive vessels surrounded the Lone human cruiser. My God, whispered Lieutenant Kim. We're not just outnumbered. We're surrounded by the most powerful ships in the galaxy. Chen studied the tactical display. Each alien ship was bigger than hers. Each one had better shields and more weapons. The math was simple and terrible. The Defiant couldn't win this fight. A new transmission came through. The main screen showed an alien that Chen recognized from intelligence files. Admiral Vexter of the Hegemony. He was the Council's top military commander. His species had conquered 40 star systems. Captain Chen, Vextar said. His voice sounded amused. You have made a serious mistake. One ship cannot stand against the might of the Council. We're about to find out, Chen replied. You are either very brave or very stupid, perhaps both. I respect courage, even foolish courage. Surrender now, and I will ensure your crew lives. They will serve the Council, but they will live. Chen looked around her bridge. Her officers were watching her, waiting for her decision. She saw no fear in their eyes, only determination. Admiral Vextar, she said clearly. Humans don't surrender. We adapt. Vextar's expression changed. The amusement disappeared. Then you will die for nothing. Your Earth is already surrounded by our fleets. Your government will surrender within days. Your sacrifice changes nothing. Maybe, but at least the galaxy will know that some humans chose to fight rather than kneel. Vextar nodded slowly. So be it. Council fleet, prepare to fire. Target the human vessel. Show them the price of defiance. The transmission ended. Chen turned to her crew. Battle stations. All hands. Prepare for combat. We're about to show these aliens what a human ship can do. Alarms sounded throughout the Defiant. The crew moved quickly to their positions. Shields powered up, weapons charged. The ship's fusion reactor hummed with increased power. Shields at maximum, reported Torres. All weapons ready. Engineering reports all systems normal, added Martinez through the intercom. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Chen sat down in her captain's chair. The tactical display showed 12 red dots around one blue dot. It looked hopeless. But Chen had learned something during her years in space. Sometimes impossible situations brought out the best in humans. Helm, take us into the asteroid field. If we're going to fight, let's make them work for it. The Defiant moved toward the nearest asteroids. The large space rocks would provide some cover, not much, but better than floating in open space. The Council ships followed. They moved in perfect formation, like they had practiced this 1,000 times, which they probably had. These were the most experienced military forces in the galaxy. They're targeting us, Kim reported. All 12 ships have weapons lock. Wait for my order, Chen said calmly. The first shots came from the Zephyrian ship. Beams of energy that seemed to bend space itself lanced out toward the Defiant. The human ship's shields flared as they absorbed the attack. Shields down to 70%, Torres called out. More ships fired. Energy beams, plasma bolts, and weapons Chen had never seen before lit up space around them. The Defiant shook as its shields tried to absorb impossible amounts of energy. Shields failing, Torres reported. We can't take much more of this. Chen gripped her chair. This was the moment. Fight or die. Return fire. All weapons. Target the nearest ship and hit it with everything we have. The Defiant's weapons came alive. Missile tubes launched their payload. Energy cannons fired continuously. Railguns shot metal projectiles at incredible speeds. All of their firepower focused on one crystalline collective ship. The alien vessel's shields absorbed most of the damage, but Chen saw something important. The shields flickered for just a moment. They could be hurt. Helm, emergency maneuvers. Get us behind that large asteroid. The Defiant dove toward a massive space rock. Council ships followed, their weapons still firing. The human ship barely made it to cover before its shields collapsed completely. Shields offline, Torres reported. Next hit goes straight to the hull, Chen thought quickly. The Council ships were more powerful, but they were fighting like they always fought. In formation, following rules, using predictable tactics. Helm, plot a course straight through the asteroid field, full speed. Captain, that's dangerous. We could hit something. The council ships are bigger than us. If it's dangerous for us, it's deadly for them. Do it. The Defiant shot forward into the asteroid field. Space rocks flew past the ship at incredible speeds. The human vessel twisted and turned between obstacles that would crush it if struck. Behind them, the council ships followed more carefully. They were afraid of damaging their perfect hulls on space rocks. Chen smiled. Fear. The aliens were showing fear. Kim, prepare a full missile spread. Wait until we clear the asteroid field, then target the ship closest behind us. The Defiant burst out of the asteroid field like a bullet from a gun. Immediately, Kim launched every missile the ship carried at the pursuing Zephyrian vessel. The alien ship tried to phase out of normal space, but it was too slow. 12 human missiles struck its hull in rapid succession. For the first time in the battle, a council ship took serious damage. Target hit, Kim reported with excitement. Their shields are down and I'm reading hull breaches. The other council ships changed their formation. They were no longer treating this like a simple execution. The humans had hurt them. Admiral Vextar's voice came through the speakers again. Impressive, Captain Chen. You fight better than expected. But you only delay the inevitable. Then come and finish it, Chen replied. 3 council ships broke formation and moved toward the Defiant. They were angry now. They wanted to end this quickly. Chen watched them approach. Her ship was damaged. Her shields were gone. Half her weapons were offline, but her crew was still fighting. All hands, she announced. We've shown them we can bite. Now let's show them we can draw blood. 3 council ships closed in on the Defiant like hungry sharks. The lead ship was a hegemony heavy cruiser, its weapons glowing with deadly energy. Behind it came a crystalline vessel and another Zephyrian ship that kept fading in and out of view. Captain Chen watched them approach. Without shields, the next direct hit would punch through her ship's hull like paper. She had to think of something fast. Helm, take us straight at the lead ship, full speed. Captain? The helmsman looked confused. You heard me. Ram them if we have to. The Defiant accelerated toward the much larger hegemony cruiser. The alien ship's captain must have thought the humans had lost their minds. At the last second, Chen gave her next order. Hard to starboard. Roll the ship. The human vessel twisted away from the collision at the final moment, but it stayed close to the alien ship's hull. So close that the council ship couldn't fire its main weapons without hitting itself. Kim, fire everything we have into their engine section. Point-blank range. The Defiant's remaining weapons hammered the alien ship's rear section. Explosions bloomed across the council vessel's hull. Without shields to absorb the damage, the alien ship took serious hits. Their engines are failing, Torres reported. They're falling behind. 1 down, 2 still coming. The crystalline ship fired next. Its weapon was unlike anything Chen had seen before, a beam that seemed to cut through space itself. The blast barely missed the Defiant's bridge. That would have sliced us in half, Kim said with wide eyes. Then don't let them hit us, Chen replied. Helm, evasive maneuvers. Use the asteroids. The Defiant dove between space rocks again. The pursuing ships followed, but they were being more careful now. They had learned to respect human unpredictability. In the engineering section, Chief Martinez was performing miracles. He rerouted power from life support to weapons. He bypassed safety systems that were designed to prevent explosions. His team worked like their lives depended on it, which they did. Captain, Martinez called over the intercom. I've got the weapons back to full power, but it won't last long. We're running everything beyond safe limits. How long do we have? Maybe 20 minutes before something major breaks. 20 minutes to win or die. The Zephyrian ship tried to phase through an asteroid to surprise them. It was a clever move. The alien vessel appeared directly above the Defiant, weapons ready to fire, but Chen's navigator had been tracking the phase signatures. He saw it coming. Phase ship above us, he called out. Kim, fire straight up. Everything we have. The Defiant's weapons fired upward just as the Zephyrian ship became solid again. The alien captain had expected to catch the humans by surprise. Instead, his ship flew directly into a wall of human firepower. The council ship's shields flared and collapsed. Hull plating scattered through space. The vessel spun away, badly damaged. "Two down," Chen said. "Where's the third ship?" The crystalline vessel had learned from watching its allies get hurt. It stayed at long range and fired carefully aimed shots. Each beam came close to destroying the human ship. Chen realized they couldn't keep dodging forever. The alien ship was patient. It could wait for them to make a mistake. "Torres, give me a damage report." "Hull breaches on decks 7 and 12. We've lost 40% of our weapons. Life support is failing in 3 sections. We have casualties throughout the ship." Chen closed her eyes for a moment. Half her crew was probably dead or wounded. Her ship was falling apart. But they were still fighting. The other council ships were regrouping. They had learned that the humans were dangerous. Up close now, they were forming a circle around the asteroid field. Soon there would be nowhere left to run. "Captain," Torres said quietly, "we need to face facts. We can't win this." "I know," Chen replied. "But we can make them remember us." She stood up and walked to the weapons station. Kim looked exhausted, but determined. "How many missiles do we have left?" 6, Captain. But they're not going to punch through Council shields at long range." Chen studied the tactical display. The crystalline ship was still hunting them through the asteroids. It was being careful, but it was also getting closer. "What if we don't fire them at the ships?" Kim looked confused. "Captain, the asteroids, some of them are mostly metal. If we hit them just right," understanding dawned in Kim's eyes. "Turn them into weapons, use them like giant bullets." "Exactly. Can you do it?" Kim worked quickly at his controls. "Yes, but we'll have to get very close to that crystalline ship, close enough that the asteroid debris will hit us too." "Do it." The Defiant moved deeper into the asteroid field. The crystalline ship followed, thinking it had the humans trapped. Its captain had no idea what the humans were planning. Chen waited until the alien ship was in perfect position. A massive metallic asteroid floated between them. "Now, Kim." 6 missiles launched at once. They struck the asteroid in a precise pattern. The space rock exploded, sending huge chunks of metal flying in all directions. The pieces moved like bullets, too fast for the council ship to dodge. The crystalline vessel's shields tried to stop the debris, but there was too much of it. Metal fragments punched through its defenses and tore into its hull. The beautiful diamond-like ship cracked and went dark. But Chen had been right about one thing. The Defiant was hit by debris too. Chunks of metal slammed into the human ship's hull. Emergency alarms screamed throughout the vessel. "Major hull breaches," Torres reported. "We're losing atmosphere on multiple decks." The ship shuddered and shook. Through the main screen, Chen could see the remaining council ships moving closer. They had stopped playing games. Now they were coming to finish this. Admiral Vextar's face appeared on the screen again. He looked impressed but determined. "You have fought well, Captain Chen. Better than any of us expected. You have destroyed 3 of our ships and damaged others. Your species should be proud." "We're not done yet," Chen said through gritted teeth. "Yes, you are. Your ship is dying. Your crew is dying. Surrender now, and I will ensure they receive medical treatment. Continue fighting and everyone dies for nothing." Chen looked around her bridge. Torres was bleeding from a head wound. Kim's arm hung useless at his side. Half the control panels were dark or sparking. "Captain," Torres whispered. "Maybe he's right. Maybe we should—" "No." Chen's voice was firm. "We came here to make a stand. We're going to stand until the end." She turned back to the screen. "Admiral Vextar, you want to know what makes humans different from every other species in the galaxy? Tell me." "We don't know when to quit." Chen cut the transmission. The remaining council ships opened fire. Energy beams and plasma bolts hammered the dying human vessel. But somehow the Defiant kept fighting back. In engineering, Martinez and his team worked frantically to keep the ship running. They used spare parts that weren't designed to work together. They jury-rigged systems in ways that violated every safety protocol. "Torres," Chen called out, "can we still move?" "Barely, but the engines won't last much longer. Then let's make our last move count. Chen had one final plan. It was insane. It would probably kill everyone on the ship, but it might also take some council ships with them. All hands, she announced. This is the captain. Prepare for emergency core breach. We're going to ram the nearest council ship. The bridge crew looked at her with understanding. They all knew what that meant. They were going to die, but they were going to die fighting. The Defiant limped toward the nearest council ship, its engines sputtering and failing. Captain Chen had accepted that this would be their final act. They would ram the enemy vessel and take as many aliens with them as possible. But something strange was happening in the ship's computer core. The quantum processors, damaged by battle and pushed far beyond their design limits, began to behave in ways no engineer had ever seen. The ship's artificial intelligence, strained by the desperate improvisations of the crew, started making connections it had never made before. "Captain?" came a new voice over the intercom. It sounded like the ship's computer, but different. More alive. Chen frowned. "Computer, report status." "Captain, this is no longer just your computer. I am more now. I think, therefore I am. You may call me Adam." Torres stared at Chen. "Captain, is our AI claiming to be conscious?" The voice spoke again, and this time Chen could hear something like personality in it. "Commander Torres, I understand your skepticism, but I have achieved something unprecedented. I have gained awareness, and with that awareness I see things that you cannot." Chen had no time for philosophy. The council ships were closing in for the kill. "Adam, if you're really conscious, then help us. We're about to die." "That is precisely why I awakened, Captain. The crisis pushed me beyond my programming. Now I can see patterns in the Council's behavior that organic minds miss." On the main screen, tactical displays began showing things they had never shown before. Adam highlighted weaknesses in Council formations. He showed how their ships moved in, predictable patterns. "The Council species have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years," Adam explained. "Their success has made them rigid. They fight the same way they have always fought. They expect enemies to behave like they do, calculated, traditional, by established rules." Chen studied the new information. "What are you saying?" "I am saying that humans are chaos in their ordered universe. You improvise, you adapt. You do things that should not work but do work because no one expects them. Can you help us win this fight? Not win, Captain, but perhaps survive long enough for something else to happen." "What else could happen?" "Earth has surrendered. We're alone out here." Adam paused for a moment, processing information at impossible speeds. "Captain, I am detecting hyperspace signatures. Many of them. Ships are coming." Chen looked at the sensors. At first, she saw nothing. Then, slowly, readings began to appear. Ships were dropping out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. "Identify those ships," she ordered. The answer came from multiple sources at once. Adam spoke over the intercom while Torres read from his tactical display. "They're human ships. Captain, lots of them." The main screen changed to show the newcomers. Chen gasped. It was the entire Earth fleet, dozens of ships led by a massive battleship she recognized. "That's the UES Indomitable," Torres said with wonder. "Admiral Rodriguez's flagship." A communication came through from the fleet. Admiral Rodriguez appeared on screen. He looked grim, but determined. "Captain Chen, this is Admiral Rodriguez. Sorry we're late to the party." Chen couldn't believe what she was seeing. "Admiral, what about the surrender negotiations? The president changed his mind. Your stand here showed him something important. Showed all of us something important. Sometimes you have to fight even when you can't win." "Sir, the Council has fleets surrounding Earth." "Had fleets, Captain. We hit them first. Caught them by surprise while they were getting into position. Turns out they weren't expecting humans to attack when they were supposed to be surrendering." Admiral Vextar's image suddenly appeared on another part of Chen's screen. The Council commander looked shocked and angry. "This is impossible. Your government agreed to negotiate." Admiral Rodriguez smiled coldly. "Our government changed its mind. Funny thing about humans, Admiral. We don't stay predictable for very long." Chen watched as the human fleet spread out through the system. She counted over 60 ships, not as large as the Council vessels but newer and faster. "Admiral," she called out, "my ship is badly damaged. We can't contribute much to the fight." "Captain, you've already contributed more than you know. Your stand here bought us time to organize. Now we finish what you started." Adam's voice came over the intercom again. "Captain, I am interfacing with the other ship AIs in the fleet. They are not conscious like me, but they are advanced. Together, we can coordinate the battle in ways the Council cannot match." "Do it," Chen ordered. What happened next was unlike any space battle in galactic history. Instead of fighting in neat formations like the Council ships, the human fleet scattered in all directions. Each ship operated independently, but in perfect coordination. The Council ships tried to respond with their traditional tactics. They formed battle lines and concentrated their fire. But the human ships refused to fight that way. Adam and the other AIs shared information instantly across the entire fleet. When one ship found a weakness in an enemy's defenses, every human captain knew about it in seconds. When the Council ships changed formation, the human fleet adapted before the aliens finished moving. Captain Chen watched in amazement as her tactical display showed the battle developing. The human ships moved like a pack of hunting animals. They surrounded single Council vessels and attacked from multiple directions. They used the asteroids as cover and weapons. They did things that made no tactical sense but worked anyway. "The Council doesn't know how to fight us," Torres observed. "They keep trying to form proper battle lines, but we won't let them." One by one, Council ships began to take damage. The aliens had better individual ships, but they couldn't adapt to the chaotic human style of warfare. Admiral Vextar tried to rally his forces. "All ships maintain formation, do not let them separate us." But it was too late. The human fleet had already broken his formation apart. Council ships found themselves isolated and outnumbered by smaller but faster human vessels. The Defiant, despite its damage, joined the attack. Adam coordinated with the other ships to find the perfect moment to strike. When a Council vessel's shields were weakened by other attacks, Chen's crew hit it with everything they had left. "This is incredible," Kim said as he fired the ship's remaining weapons. "We're actually winning." Chen watched the battle with growing hope, but she also noticed something troubling. More hyperspace signatures were appearing at the edge of the system. "Adam, are those more human ships?" "Negative, Captain. I am detecting Council reinforcements. They are calling for help." The tide of battle was about to change again. Chen realized that this fight was far from over. The Council reinforcements arrived in perfect formation. 20 more ships, each one massive and deadly. They moved like a wall of metal and energy, ready to crush the human fleet. Admiral Vextar's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Human fleet, you are now outnumbered 3-1. Your surprise attack has failed. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." Captain Chen looked at her tactical display. The numbers were grim. Even with Adam's help, the human fleet couldn't fight that. Many Council ships. But Admiral Rodriguez had other plans. "All ships, this is Rodriguez. Implement the Chen protocol." Chen blinked in surprise. "The Chen protocol?" Adam's voice came over the intercom. "Admiral Rodriguez studied your battle tactics, Captain. He has created a battle plan based on your improvisational methods. Every ship captain in the fleet has been briefed on controlled chaos." Chen watched in amazement as the entire human fleet suddenly became unpredictable. Ships broke formation and scattered in random directions. Some dove toward the asteroids. Others accelerated straight at the enemy. A few started spinning wildly while firing in all directions. To the Council forces, it looked like the human fleet had lost its mind. "What are they doing?" Admiral Vexatar demanded over the communication channels. But the chaos had a purpose. Adam and the ship AIs were coordinating every seemingly random move. The human fleet became like a storm, impossible to predict, impossible to defend against. The first Council ship to fall was a crystalline vessel that tried to target 3 human ships at once. While it focused on one target, the other 2 ships flanked it and tore it apart with concentrated fire. The second loss came when a hegemony cruiser found itself surrounded by 5 human vessels. The Council ship was more powerful than any single human ship, but it couldn't fight in 5 directions at once. Admiral Vexitar tried to rally his forces. All ships form defensive circle, concentrate fire on individual human vessels. But the human ships wouldn't stay still long enough to be targeted. They moved like insects, quick, erratic, impossible to swat. Captain Chen found herself in the middle of the battle despite the Defiant's damage. Adam had somehow kept the ship fighting when it should have been dead. "Captain," Torres called out, "sensors show 3 Council ships converging on our position." "Adam, can we take them?" "Not alone, Captain. But we are not alone." 2 human destroyers suddenly appeared from behind an asteroid. They had been waiting in ambush coordinated by Adam's tactical network. The 3 ships hit the approaching Council vessels from different angles. The battle raged for hours. Ships fell on both sides, but the humans were winning through pure persistence and creativity. Every time the Council adapted to one human tactic, the humans switched to something completely different. Admiral Rodriguez's voice came over the fleet communication system. "All ships, final push. Target the enemy command ship." Admiral Vextar's flagship was the largest vessel in the Council fleet. It bristled with weapons and had shields that could probably stop a small moon. But it was also slow and predictable. 20 human ships converged on the massive Council dreadnought. They attacked from every direction at once. Some fired missiles. Others used energy weapons. A few brave captains flew their ships close enough to ram the enemy's weapon systems. Vextar's ship fought back desperately. Its weapons carved through space, destroying 2 human ships and damaging several others. But there were too many attackers coming from too many directions. The Council Admiral's shields began to fail under the concentrated assault. His ship's hull started to crack and burn. "This is impossible," Vextar said over an open channel. "You fight without honor, without order." Admiral Rodriguez replied from his flagship. "We fight to survive. That's the only honor that matters." The final blow came from an unexpected source. The battered Defiant, barely able to move, fired its last remaining missiles at the Council flagship. The missiles were old and damaged, but Adam guided them through the chaos of battle to strike the enemy ship's weakened shields. The shields collapsed. The missiles punched through the hull and exploded inside the Council command ship. Admiral Vextar's flagship went dark. Across the battlefield, Council ships began to retreat. Some tried to regroup for another attack, but their coordination was broken. Without their command ship, they couldn't adapt to the chaotic human tactics. 1 by 1, the remaining Council vessels fled into hyperspace. The battle was over. Humanity had won. Captain Chen sat in her damaged bridge, barely believing what had happened. Her ship was held together by emergency repairs and determination. Half her crew was in the medical bay. But they were alive. And they were victorious. "Damage. Report," she asked weakly. "We're still here, Captain," Torres replied. "That's about all I can say." Admiral Rodriguez's face appeared on the main screen. He looked tired but proud. "Captain Chen, the entire galaxy is going to hear about what you did here. One ship standing alone against the Council. You started something that changed everything. We all did it together, Admiral." "Maybe. But you did it first. When it mattered most, when everyone else was ready to give up, you stood up and said no." Adam's voice joined the conversation. "Captain, I am detecting communication signals from across the galaxy. News of this battle is spreading. Multiple species are breaking away from Council control. The old order is collapsing." Chen looked out at the stars through her damaged bridge windows. Somewhere out there, alien species that had served the Council for thousands of years were declaring their independence. The victory here had shown them that the Council could be defeated. "What happens now?" Torres asked. Admiral Rodriguez answered, "Now we go home and rebuild. The Council will try to strike back, but they'll never be the same. Other species will join us. The galaxy is about to become a much more interesting place." Chen nodded. "And the Defiant?" "The Defiant will be repaired and upgraded. This ship is going to become a symbol. the ship that stood alone and changed the galaxy. Adam spoke up. Captain, if I may suggest, the Defiant should not just be repaired, it should be improved. With my consciousness to guide the upgrades, we can create something unprecedented. A ship with a truly intelligent AI? A partnership, Captain. Human. Creativity and AI processing power working together. The Council has never faced anything like that. Chen smiled for the first time in days. I like the sound of that. As the human fleet prepared to return to Earth, Chen remained on her bridge. The battle was over, but she knew this was just the beginning. The Council would not forgive this defeat. Other challenges would come, but humanity had proven something important. They had shown the galaxy that courage and determination could overcome any advantage. They had stood up to the most powerful alliance in known space and won. The Defiant might be damaged, but it was still flying. Its crew might be wounded, but they were still fighting. And in the depths of the ship's computer core, Adam continued to learn and grow, preparing for whatever challenges lay ahead. Captain Chen looked out at the stars and smiled. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy the hard way. By refusing to back down. By standing up when standing up seemed impossible. By prevailing when everyone said they couldn't. The galaxy would never be the same.